People who feel well tend to live well. They have a better immunity against infection and a lower susceptibility to ill health. Stress and depression, on the other hand, are linked to poorer functioning of the immune system, weaker responses to vaccination, and overall higher rates of morbidity. But how a healthy mind makes for a healthy body wasn't known. Now, by artificially stimulating the reward circuitry in the brains of mice, scientists in Israel have shown that one of the nerve pathways in the body, called the sympathetic nervous system, can directly manipulate the immune system. I'm Claire Armstrong, and I spoke to Dr. Assia Rolls to hear how.
There is a system in the brain called the reward system, and this system is activated every time we have this expectation for something good. And what we wanted to understand is whether this reward system can it affect the physical well-being. We did it in mice. We actually manipulated the activity of these neurons with a new technology that allows us to activate the neurons basically at will, and then looked what happened in the immune system. And it was quite impressive to see that following this activation of the reward system, the immune system was much more potent in fighting bacteria.
And what did you see with the immune response? How long were the mice able to fight off bacteria?
After reward system activation, we introduced the mice with a bacteria, and then even if we introduced the bacteria again 30 days later, the response was much stronger towards this pathogen.
Were you able to test for other bacteria, or do you think that this effect would be able to work against other bacteria?
Well, we tested this one single bacteria, but as far as we know right now, already from other studies in the lab, it's not limited to any specific bacteria.
The fact that the immune system of the mice, whose reward system had been stimulated, performed better than those that hadn't had their reward system stimulated, this means that there's actually a connection between the reward system of the brain and the immune system.
Clearly, from our study, there is some connection. We activated one region and we saw this outcome in the immune system. The tricky part is to understand what goes in between. We were able to dissect part of it. What we found is that all immune organs, it's fascinating, they're all innervated by the sympathetic nervous system. And we know that activity of the reward system can control the sympathetic nervous system. And what we found is that when we eliminate the sympathetic nervous system, the reward system does not have any effect on the immune response. So for us, it's indicated that the sympathetic nervous system is involved in mediating the connection from the brain to the immune response.
You artificially triggered the reward centre in mice. Do you think there could be a difference between this artificial activation of the reward centre and a more natural activation of the reward centre?
I think what we did in this study, we definitely did a very strong manipulation, which more for us was more to kind of uncover the potential the system has. What is the potential of the reward system to affect immunity? I'm pretty confident that in natural circumstances, it might be activated in other ways. We have some evidence in the lab to indicate that also natural rewards can also affect the immune system. But the manipulation we did here was more intense than the one that you will naturally get in most cases of reward system activation.
Assia Rolls from the Technion Israel Institute of Technology, and the study was published in Nature Medicine.